My Coros Pace 3 is now a few days old, and I no longer need to publish a review here. There are already lots of them out there on the internet and on YouTube, and I don't want to do one here 6 months later and list all the functions again. But I would like to take up the cudgels for the Coros Pace 3 and especially for the manufacturer Coros and explain why I have never regretted buying my Coros watches. When I bought the Coros Pace 2 in 2021, I bought it mainly because I wanted a watch that would integrate my Stride footpod well, and with which I could also integrate watt training. That wasn't possible with my Garmin Fenix 3 at the time. I could see it, yes, the values, but I couldn't create workouts with watt zones. In addition, the watch was very cheap at the time and had many functions that other watches in the higher price segment did not yet have integrated. I subsequently tested many watches from other manufacturers, some of which would have cost twice as much, but none of them really convinced me to switch. There was actually no function that I would have missed on my Coros Pace compared to the models from other manufacturers. At most, a map function and perhaps a better display, but that's about it. And I know that these points are particularly important for many people, and everyone has to weigh up for themselves what is really important to them when buying a watch, but more on that later. A few months ago, as I said, I bought the successor model, the Coros Pace 3. A little more expensive and equipped with a very simple map function. Hooray! The display still wasn't any better, but the processor was a bit more powerful and the battery lasted even longer than that of the Coros Pace 2. I thought long and hard about whether to get the update and probably shouldn't have done so, but ultimately that's also the reason why I haven't regretted buying the Coros Pace 3. Because thanks to Coros and its update policy, their watches have been up to date for an extremely long time. I don't really know of any other manufacturer that continues to provide its devices with such major updates for years after their market launch. Take the Coros Pace 2, for example. Last year, more than 2 years after its market launch, it received a rudimentary map and later a navigation function, even though this was certainly not the plan when it was first launched, and that would be a reason for many Pace 2 users not to upgrade their watch to the Pace 3, like me. And that's not all. A heart rate variability function was also added in December. In January, improvements were made and stress values were introduced. All things that torpedo their own quality products. Why is Coros doing this? I don't know. Maybe you've got an idea. You can put it in the comments. We can only speculate, but I have the feeling that my Coros Pace 3 and maybe all the other Coros watches will still be very much up to date in 3 to 5 years' time. The Pace 3 is already being constantly updated, and maybe I won't just wear glasses from time to time, but also when running, and then the small display will no longer bother me. So yeah, that's the reason why I've never regretted buying a Coros watch, especially now with the Coros Pace 3, and before that the Coros Pace 2, and if you got another Coros watch, I think it will be the same. The update policy is fantastic. Okay, that's my opinion, so what's your opinion? Tell it to me in the comments. So, then see you soon, and yeah, that's it for today. Bye bye.